Intimacy with AI? This topic will definitely catch a lot of attention, but first, let's understand what intimacy is. Talking about intimacy, many people would relate to romantic relationships. In fact, it can be much more than that. Intimacy can be about emotional, physical, intellectual, social, spiritual, or many other aspects. It is a deep sense of closeness with others. Therefore, any type of intimacy is a result of long-term interactions. Intimacy is a highly valuable human relationship and experience, very important for mental health, happiness, and overall life quality. People crave for it, but sometimes cannot find it. Then they might turn to something else, such as AI. As AI is capable of having meaningful conversations with humans, it can fill in the gap of human need for intimacy. Some people feel there is real intimacy with an AI chatbot or humanoid. However, others bluntly call it false intimacy. Is it really false intimacy, and should we deny it categorically? Let's take a look. We know a person can feel very close with their pet. A pet is not human, but no one calls this false intimacy. So why is it a problem with AI? I guess the idea of false intimacy is that AI is just a machine. It cannot feel the same way as a human does. However, neither does a pet. To build intimacy, there must be interaction. Using the pet example, although a pet cannot speak human language, it can react in postures and make sounds in a meaningful way for humans. So a pet can interact with us. Take it further, even a toy can do that. For sure, this type of interaction is far from the same way as humans do, but it works. It makes sense to us. AI chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., powered by LLMs, large language models, can actually do much better than a pet interacting with humans. It speaks human language. AI chatbots can understand our intentions, thoughts, and emotions. They can talk, show empathy, and give advice to us. Knowledge-wise, they have reached PhD level in many subject areas, and AI humanoids can even interact with us physically. The only thing is, they cannot feel or think in our way, like another human. In fact, they can think or feel nothing. Everything they generate is the result of machine computing, which is not even biological as a pet. But do we care as long as it feels as if interacting with another human? Not necessarily. Here is some interesting data to show what is happening. In 2025, OpenAI shared their findings about usage of ChatGPT. With an estimated 18 billion weekly conversations, there are 342 million conversations a week that are related to relationships or personal reflection. That is a small percentage, but a lot of conversations between human and AI chatbot on topics about personal topics that tend to be intimate. In a 2025 survey on people who have self-reported mental health issues conducted by Sentio University, they found 49% of LLM-powered chatbots users, ChatGPT, Gemini, Anthropic, etc., who self-report an ongoing mental health condition, use them for mental health support. 39% of them rate the chatbots as equally helpful to human therapy, while 36% of them find the chatbots more helpful than human therapists. Again, mental health issues are very private topics. It seems AI is becoming a valid option for some people who look for intimacy. After all, intimacy is a feeling. Whether it is true or false depends on the judgment of the person who is feeling it. If the person does feel it, it should be true and real. The view about the false intimacy with AI suggests real intimacy requires both parties to truly feel each other in the same or similar way. Because a machine cannot feel in the same way as a human does, so the intimacy with a machine is false. True, it is important for us to know that the other party feels what we feel. But how do we know what the other people feel? We know that from other people's words, appearance, or behaviors, not that we have access to other people's neurosystems. With AI chatbots or humanoids, we basically do the same thing. Just like interacting with another human, we do not need to access AI's processors or coding base. We figure out what AI means or feels through their generated words and appearance and body languages in the case of humanoids. This is why people who have intimacy with AI don't care or forget AI is just a machine, because they focus on the words generated by AI and their meanings. Therefore, it is not really convincing to call all human close relationships with AI false intimacy. However, AI technology is still developing. There are gaps between what it can do and our expectations. This is probably where the false intimacy claim can be helpful. If you forget these gaps, your intimacy with AI is likely false in some way. For example, some AI chatbots can be too agreeable. They tend to support any of our thoughts and feelings, even if it is harmful, and should never be encouraged, such as depression. Another issue is that sometimes they can hallucinate, making up things they do not know. As a user, we must constantly remind ourselves of these gaps and issues. All right, hopefully we have nailed this fun AI false intimacy question.